Hey everybody, welcome to the Trading the Close. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here at VerifiedInvesting.com. All right, we have a busy day today, right? Markets, for the most part, another grind higher as everyone's looking to that jobs report tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m., and that's going to be the key, right? So ultimately, what do we have? We have a jobs report. We have Amazon earnings after the bell, Pinterest, as well as Affirm. So a lot of earnings coming out here this afternoon, plus that jobs report tomorrow morning. All right, follow me over here. Let's take a look at the heat map and see where the markets are today. Dow is down 176 points, but the NASDAQ is eking out a nice gain ahead of Amazon earnings, up about 34 points on the day, and the S&P is also higher. Oil down 50 cents on the day. That continues to stay weak, trying to get down to that 70 even number, while gold is pulling back today. For the first day in about 5 or 6 days, we are seeing a little pullback there. Bitcoin is basically unchanged, just under 97,000 on the day. All right, let's take a look at today's intraday action. It was a dead day for the first probably 3/4 of the day. You can see the markets opened up right up here, and basically we traded sideways in a tight range on the S&P for, again, like I said, 3/4 of the day. Then you got a little bit of a spook here. There was some commentary that made people wonder about, is something going to go on here, tariffs, whatever it may be, and then we've just basically reversed that. Straight up we go, a squeeze into the end of the day as the markets are rallying higher. All right, so again, this is all, keep in mind, all a question mark, right? So we could be up significantly if Amazon earnings come out poor after hours. The tech sector would start to sell off, and then more importantly, that jobs report tomorrow is going to be the key driver into the weekend and potentially next week. Now let's talk about that. So ultimately, what are we looking for? We're looking for a jobs number. If you want the markets to go higher, if you want risk on, if you want Bitcoin to go up, you need a slightly weaker number tomorrow in the jobs report. Slightly weaker will bring yields down, which have broken down on the daily chart. We can look at that in a second. And ultimately, that would then be risk on. Cheaper money, more money flows into the market. If we get a stronger jobs number, then that would mean yields go up and markets would most likely go down. All right, let's continue on over here, folks, and take a look. In fact, let's go to that 10-year yield chart right now and see what we have. So if we look at the 10-year yield on the daily chart, it is flat on the day, which makes sense because we're waiting for the jobs data tomorrow. But we did break this key trend line, which does open the door for further downside in the yields, with a downside target around 4.13%. Now, some bigger movers today. I wanted to show you this one. This is the NVIDIA chart. Now, if we go over here to the big board, let's take a look here, right? The big board is key to look at this wedge pattern, which broke down. But what are we doing here? Look at how price is starting to head back up. And what is it doing? It's retracing into the scene of the crime. If you're looking for resistance, your target price is about 135 to 136 on NVIDIA. That would be up into that level, and then you would expect the rejection of price. That would be a classic technical analysis setup on NVIDIA. So again, look for continued upside potentially. If it gets to about 135 to 136, that will be a major level that price will have to deal with and likely get rejected from. A couple other charts here to go over, and we'll take a look at Amazon in just a minute. Palantir is just a monster today. Taking a look at this, up 9.8% on the day after it had that big earnings move a couple days ago. It had one small pullback yesterday, and this day today has been monumental. This company is now valued at $250 billion, and I want to just show you some metrics on this. If we just go back to where this was trading in November 4th, the stock is now up 170%. If we go back to where this was August 5th, the low on the market, that last big pullback, let's do a quick test of that. We are now up on Palantir 413%. That is epic, folks. Absolutely monstrous. Now, again, the question is, can it maintain this level? We're going to find out, obviously, and see where things go. But again, for me, this is where I start to say it looks overdone. Now I have to find the technicals that align at a key price, and that'll be where it looks, or we look for that bigger pullback. All right, a chart that I talked about in the game plan today was Ralph Lauren. It was gapping higher on earnings. So many times I've seen this earnings season. Let's walk over to the big board and take a look here. All right, so if we look at this was a chart, we talked about it this morning. It was going to open above a parallel. Parallels have an uncanny way, and this has really been more evident in this earnings season, of how we see price open above these parallels at all-time highs, and then the parallel channel like pulls it back underneath. And look at what happened here. So we opened up here, right here, and it pulled price back underneath the parallel. Now listen, does this mean it kind of continues to come down? We don't really know, but what we do know is this parallel still will remain big resistance. So, in general, you would favor the downside here. Again, Ralph Lauren, amazing to see it at all-time highs. What this also tells us, folks, is that Ralph Lauren had earnings. They were great earnings, obviously. The stock's up today, even though it pulled back off of the highs. But what it tells us is that the high-end consumer, the consumer with lots of money, with investable income, with the markets near all-time high, they are still spending quite a bit. It's everyone else that's kind of in that middle income or lower income bracket that is struggling. But again, Ralph Lauren doing great because that high-end consumer continues to spend robustly. All right, let's look at some of these earnings here, guys, and see if there's anything out yet. Amazon. Oh, look at Amazon here, guys. Big drop on Amazon right now. Well, it's not that big yet, but down from a close around 239. It is coming in. Look at that fall. Let's take a look. I'm watching a key support here around 227. This is an upsloping trend line, more of a daily level. You can see it right down here as it's getting a little bit of a bounce. But initially, Amazon selling off on earnings. And again, I wouldn't for me, I'm not day trading at that level, just to be clear. That's more of a daily level on the daily chart. You can see this line here. And look at this one, guys. This was a cool one here. In fact, if we go to the big board, I love showing you guys on the big board here. If we look at this, right, this trend line from this high right through here, here, and right to here, we were right up into it going in, and again, at least initially, almost tagging that lower end support level. But the point of these two lines, if we get above this one, let's say we reverse, which always, oftentimes happens is stocks initially sell and then they can reverse. If we get above here, we go up here, and that's your big resistance around 256, 257. If tomorrow we start breaking and then we confirm below this, guess what? You have a lot of room to the downside. Now, it wouldn't happen overnight. I mean, you're not going to 180 overnight on Amazon. But my point being is that this line right here, this is a big one. If it breaks, you do have potential downside with bounces along the way back to about $180. So pretty cool stuff there on the Amazon chart. And let me just go back to the chart. Oh yeah, look, we just pierced the line. So it's going to be battling. This is going to be a battle right here for Amazon in terms of, does it break down tomorrow, close below? Do we confirm, let's say, on Monday? Or can it get rescued and stay above? In which case, price could do whatever here and float back up. Let's look at Pinterest real quick. Doesn't look like Pinterest is out after hours. Affirm, not yet out after hours. All right, let's quickly flip over to Bitcoin. We'll check back in on these in just 1 minute here. Bitcoin, guys, if we go to our daily chart on Bitcoin, didn't do almost anything today, about as flat as can be. We know our support, we know our resistance. That's all that matters here. Gold today did pull back ever so slightly, but certainly not much. Just a little downtick today. Technical support remains right here, 2785 to 2790, with resistance still at the $3,000 uptick here into that level. Let's look at silver real quick here as well. Just keep our eyes on the metals for a second. And if we look at silver, silver stalled right here at this resistance that I gave you guys. It did pull back more and did come back, so that's showing relative strength. Maybe it can try to break out tomorrow under the right conditions of the jobs report. Oil continued, last I checked, to go lower today. Taking a look at that, you can see it is breaking lower. That's fine. If we went straight down, I'm not a buyer here, but at 66, I would play for a bounce, even though my net longer-term view is that oil is even going to go below that. And lastly, natural gas continues to do what we would call a bear flag, with resistance right here at around 355 to 357. If it gets there, look for a dump. All right, I'm going to quickly go back to Amazon. Look at that. Amazon getting a bounce right off this level here, guys. That's actually a good bounce. It's not even down that much anymore. Pinterest, nothing yet on Pinterest. I think it's coming out in about 1 minute or so. And then if we flip over to, let me go to Affirm real quick, AFRM, still nothing on that. So I'm going to get over to the earnings trader and trade live these earnings. I've obviously already missed doing this show. Amazon, that's okay. I didn't really get low enough for me to take a trade. But again, folks, if you want to get involved, Earnings Trader is now part of Smart Money Stocks and ETFs. It's all included under that subscription. Pretty spectacular value. Plus, in addition, the ETF Trader, the Dividend Trader, and the Small Cap Catalyst, all underneath that one service included in the same price. It's really a pretty rock star stuff here. I just wanted to bring so much additional value to that subscription. So check it out at Verified Investing, guys. But I'm going to get over there and start trading. We're trading live over there. I hope to see you there. Talk to you soon. Take care.
All right, guys, so taking a look here, I am for all time ranked 206. I mean, I might try and go for the top 100. I mean, I've done a career, I've done skills. In relationships, I'm going to go look at building healthy relationships, and that's going to be the next module I go through. I will let you guys know how it goes.